Let's go.
Welcome to The Integrative Edge, your go-to podcast for fresh perspectives on holistic health and functional movement. Join us as we explore innovative ways to optimize your health naturally and sustainably.
I'm Kelly Demers, founder of the Integrative Wellness Coalition and the owner of True North Performance.
I'm Lindsay Seefeld, doctor of physical therapy and owner and operator of Uplifted Oncology Rehab.
I'm Dr. Kimberly Klimek, licensed pharmacist and owner of Innate Healing and Performance.
You can find the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Welcome back to the Integrative Edge, your podcast where we explore innovative ways to optimize your health naturally and sustainably. I'm your host, Kelly Demers, and as always, joined by my two incredible co-hosts, Dr. Lindsay Seefeld and Dr. Kim Klimek. Today, we are diving into a topic that is incredibly relevant in our fast-paced, overscheduled lives, and that is how to increase your energy during the day using holistic, natural approaches. Whether you're battling that midday slump or looking to feel more vibrant and awake throughout the day, this episode is for you. I think we've all had days where we've felt drained before noon, and reaching for that second cup of coffee becomes almost second nature. But what if you could support your body's natural energy cycles and feel revitalized through simple, sustainable strategies? That's what we want to unpack today. So we're going to explore holistic techniques that can help boost your energy without relying on stimulants. So I'm going to throw this out. What are some signs that our energy levels are being depleted by poor habits or imbalances?
I think it's just that slump that you feel,
Yeah.
right? It's just like you had mentioned, you get that in the afternoon. It's just like you are just drained and tanked and just like blah, right?
Yep, for sure. I think we've all been there.
Yeah, whether it's like even no matter what you eat for lunch, a healthy lunch, like you're still falling asleep at your computer or desktop between like 1 and 3. And then, yes, if you have irregular sleeping patterns, if like you're waking up consistently in the middle of the night, and then it, like I would say, then difficulty getting out of bed in the morning, even just to begin with for people, those are all just red flags for sure.
I know people that eat a really carb-heavy lunch. Those typically are a recipe for being, somewhat listless and dim-witted in the afternoon, at least for me. How do adrenal health and circadian rhythms influence daily energy levels?
Well, yeah, I mean, just to start with for the circadian rhythms, like our body truly will function more optimally on a consistent sleep and wake schedule. Mm-hmm. So you have to try to create some type of pattern that you're going to consistently try to stay by. Like obviously our body will get confused if we're just like all over the board with like when we're going to go to sleep each night. It's like one night it's 8:00, one night the next night it's 11, and then you're back and forth on this like seesaw. So we have to try to create that consistent schedule of the sleep and wake times. And then to help with their circadian rhythm, it's definitely one of the things I tell people. It's a simple thing. I mean, it's hard for us in Wisconsin, but like in the summer, when the sun rises more early, get outside and get direct 10 minutes of sunlight on your eyelids, and just, wake up and have a little glass of lemon water or something and sit outside and get that direct sunlight, because it will create more natural melatonin production in the body, and then it's going to help you sleep better at nighttime too.
I'm going to make a little plug for, there's a book called Sleep Smarter by Sean Stevenson. I'll put that in the show notes. But it is, Kim touched on it, the importance of a consistent bedtime and a consistent wake time has more bearing than you think on your energy levels throughout the day. When we look at, and you had talked about this a little bit, but are there foods or nutrients that you'd recommend for sustained energy throughout the day?
Yeah, I'm often telling people just about adrenal restoration foods, and that actually comes in the form of like a lot of like wild caught fish and omegas, because especially like wild caught fish, it's higher in like taurine levels, which really help restore our adrenals. And then getting more high dose vitamin C, that's like very powerful for your adrenals. But vitamin C in general, it's a powerhouse of an antioxidant. So it really helps your immune system, and it helps prevent oxidative damage to the cells. So I'm telling them to eat things like not necessarily drinking a glass of orange juice, because we know that's filled with like a ton of sugars, but trying to get more foods like acerola cherries. I tell them to get like camu powder and put it in their like smoothies. Red and yellow bell peppers. Eating a kiwi. Kiwis are very high, like green kiwis or golden kiwis, high in vitamin C content. So just eating that more consistency in some of those, like I said, the wild caught, like grass-fed meats and wild caught fish and lean chicken and turkey. Those are all super helpful for your adrenals.
Great. And I think like while avoiding certain things too with all of this, like avoiding like that high sugar type stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Where you'll crash later on.
Oh yeah. And I was like, sodium and potassium, your adrenals run on sodium and potassium. I'm like, think about it. Cause like so many people, I was taught in pharmacy school, even like salt is bad, restriction, like everybody who has blood pressure issues, we need to limit their salt intake. And then, I'm learning more things through functional lens. It's like, no, salt really wasn't the culprit. A lot of times it's sugar, excessive sugar, processed sugar, and then they're not getting the right forms of salt. We want like clean mineral forms of salt, but our adrenals like literally run on that sodium and potassium. So that's why it's like, if you're having an energy slump, man, maybe you just need some electrolytes or something to pick you up, because it's quite crazy how that can just give you a little energy boost.
Sometimes even just a glass of water and a quick walk over a Mountain Dew is going to be far more beneficial, I think. What role, and we've talked a little bit about this prior, but what role does mental and emotional wellness play in how energized we feel?
I think this is huge. Like, I love that we're talking about this, because, like our mental state is so important. And when we are doing things like I'm just thinking like everyday life, right? We want to do things that energize us, that bring us fulfillment, that really gives us a sense of purpose in life. Like that will really drive us and upbeat us or bring us upwards, right? So I think that is so incredibly important.
For sure.
I talk about that a lot. I'm like, you gotta have something that makes you want to get up out of bed in the morning, that makes you, brings you joy.
I think when you look at your attitude and your little pep in the step on a Friday afternoon versus a Monday afternoon, when you can kind of look forward to the weekend. So there are small things, having something to look forward to. I mean, please don't wait till the weekend to live your life, right? It should be, there are certain things that there are a ton of things that you can do during the week that will build energy just naturally, things that you can look forward to that will build a little bit of pep in your step.
I was like, I don't know about you, Lindsay, but like every time we've done like free community like seminars and stuff like that, that lights me up and that brings me energy, because, I'm talking about something that I'm passionate about, and you can see it in the crowd of people, but those we do during the week. So
yeah. For sure.
But yeah, it's just like doing too, like, I think like throughout the day too, like that's what helps me like perk up is, doing a sense of like gratitude, like just like fill yourself with, joy, like, oh, I'm so thankful for this, or, just sharing something with somebody, like sending a good note to somebody. It's just amazing when we can pour out our love to someone else. It really like boosts us up too.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Building on that, can you share, either one of you or both of you, a personal ritual or a routine that helps you stay energized?
Oh yeah. I mean, my routine right away in the morning is instantly, I kind of get out of bed, everything's good. I usually will do 10 minutes of sunlight first while I have a warm glass of lemon water, and then I instantly take some magnesium and some trace mineral drops in my water and start to fill up my electrolyte container. And I always get some of that in before I have like breakfast and coffee and everything else. Or if I'm going to do like a workout, my pre-carb workout or whatever it is. But my ritual in the morning is pretty much the same every time. Like I get up and I do that. I get like literally those electrolytes in right away. Cause that's one thing. It's like your body's dehydrated all while you sleep. Like it's processing everything through your liver and your kidneys. And then like when you urinate in the morning, like you're getting dehydrated kind of right away. So you got to fill yourself back up with some of those minerals. And it's always like, I always tell people too, like your water can't, like just plain water, like your water can't get into the cells and be used efficiently without those minerals. So I can't I can't say enough about like minerals and magnesium just in general, like for energy. But that's my morning ritual.
Yeah. I do similar, actually. I do a little pinch of Himalayan salt under my tongue, and then I have some lemon water that I drink down in the morning, and that just helps boost. And I always, I journal in the mornings. So like, that's just a way that I can start my day on a really positive note. And then throughout the day, I always take like a walk or get outside or do something on my lunch break just to get out into nature, breathe fresh air, and just like re-energize your body. So that's definitely, I think, really helps. And obviously I keep a pretty strict schedule too with my sleep. So I think having that good circadian rhythm that I know I have.
I'm glad you touched on dehydration because it is a hidden energy zapper, not only in the mornings, but even throughout the day. I think people get busy and you just kind of forget to drink your water. So I always recommend carrying a big water bottle around so you don't have to constantly refill it. Moving in the morning is a great one. Jumping on even the vibration plate, some light stretching, something to get the body moving throughout the day. Taking mindful breaks, just 5 minutes. It could be breath work. It could be a quick outside. I mean, I'm not saying a half-hour walk, right? I'm saying literally once around the block, a 5-minute, run around the house, pick a weed, come back in and call it good, and get back to work. Eating balanced meals. That was something that Kim touched on, but really focusing on whole foods with a good mix of protein and healthy fats, complex carbs to prevent those energy crashes are super helpful. And then before bed, we talked about morning routines, but evening routines, as far as reducing that exposure to blue light at night, will set you up for success. It's not something that starts at any one point in the day. If you're going to look to boost your energy, it really is a routine that starts early in the morning and continues right before you go to bed.
Yeah, I have like the blue light glasses even for working like during the day. There's some funny looking ones, but they do the job. And then my regular glasses are blue light for sure. If I'm on, obviously everybody's looking at their phone while they're setting their alarm or something like that at night. We know people are scrolling through Instagram, but the blue light exposure for sure is like something that's non-negotiable for me. I'm like, and just, as a business owner, you are like a little bit more attached to your phone and your laptop and the computers and things like that. So that's definitely a non-negotiable one for me. And then that's kind of where you start to bring in some of the biohacking things. And I do, when I'm working at home, I do get on my PEMF mat, and there's a setting on there that can help with energy.
Oh, for sure.
So I like that one. There's like a detox setting, there's like a sleep setting, there's like an energy one. It's pretty cool, but they're different frequencies.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have a brand that you recommend?
The one I have at home, it's cool because it sits on your work chair. It's like TheraSage, I believe is the company. That's the one I have, but I think there's probably a couple out there.
I have one. Mine's higher dose. Same concept where you've got multiple levels. When we look at energy through a holistic lens, it's more than just what we eat and how much we sleep. It's really about supporting our mind, our body, our spirit in harmony. And when we look at even back like ancient practices, traditional Chinese medicine, there is a huge emphasis on creating balance and harmony in our environments. And so when we look at a takeaway from what we've talked about is really that sustainable energy isn't about a quick fix. It's not something that you just go to the refrigerator and grab out of, a can. It's about creating a daily rhythm that nourishes rather than depletes. So if you just think in, terms of flow, give yourself some grace. It's always the things that we talk about here. Other takeaways?
Yeah, that slowing down in life, slowing down, not always the go mentality. Like it's just, you can't really like, brush that aside because it's so important. Like the more you're in a rush for everything, something usually happens bad, right? You spill your coffee on your lap or something like that. They're just like repercussions at the end of the day. And then of course, long-term, rush like that is going to affect your adrenals, your hormone levels, like all thyroid, all that kind of stuff in the long run.
Yeah, I think just listen to your body. Listen to the wisdom that your body is telling you. So it's just, creating an environment that you feel joyful and happy to be around. Be the people that you're with, right? That fill your cup. The things that you do on a day-to-day basis, does it make you happy or does it bring you down? The foods you eat, does it, bring you up or bring you down? So it's just, your body is very wise. I think it'll tell you what it needs.
You said it right there, just like your environment too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that even. I don't know, I have a little spray I keep by my work desk. If it's feeling like it's stressful or something, I have this rose water spray and I just spray it on my face. And I'm like, ooh, it smells good. Take a couple deep breaths and do a little bit of 3-minute deep breathing, or go for that little short walk. I mean, you honestly, I feel like you cannot convince me otherwise that doing those short little mindfulness habits do not instantly kind of perk you up just a little bit from doing them. They always make me feel better. It's just actually making the time to do them, right? Because you forget about it.
There's a work technique. Coach Nick was talking about it. He learned it from someone that is in his cohort of coaches or trainers. And I think it's called the Pomodoro technique, where you work for 25 minutes and then you do 5 minutes of something, right? Whether it's stretching, a quick walk around the block. And I get that you're not always able to do that in the middle of an hour meeting, stop at, minute 25 and take a walk. But for the times that you can, if you do have a task that you're working on, stepping back after maybe 20, set the alarm, set a timer, whatever it is. Take a quick 5-minute break, a stretch, just being intentional about stepping back from what you're doing and getting back into it. A lot of times will bring a fresh perspective, more creativity, more energy to whatever it is you're doing as well.
Yeah.
So
good.
When we look at this, it truly is about creating a daily rhythm. And the more that you can put into place, the better. I think it's important to remember that small shifts over time really have very huge payoffs. And I think we've talked about that in every single episode. It is not about making drastic change. It is truly about progress over perfection. It's about consistency. And those small shifts can lead to big results over time. Any final thoughts?
I feel like we kind of hit on some of those. These are just kind of the surface level things too, and as more of in when I think about things in functional medicine perspective, you don't, if you're doing these things, right? You're listening to this episode and you're like, I'm doing all these things kind of already. Then it's just kind of you can look into a little bit of those deeper root causes to potential fatigue, which would be just our previous episode when we were talking about reducing exposure to chemicals and toxins, because that's going to bog down your cells. It's going to affect your mitochondrial health. Talking about gut health, that's another a gateway and an entry to your chronic fatigue potentially, or inflammation. So obviously there's some other deeper root things too, but these are the everyday things that you can do too. I would say they're definitely the foundations. You should be doing these things in general to try to help with energy levels. And if you've been working on those for a while and then they're still feeling a little bit off, then it's okay, you can kind of look into some more of those deeper root causes then.
Yeah, and it's a great point. If you've done these things, maybe it is time to seek help from a professional to get some testing done, and maybe there's something more systemic going on. For sure. Thank you for joining us today on The Integrative Edge. We hope that this episode has inspired you to look at energy from a fresh, holistic perspective. Again, small shifts lead to big results over time. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with a friend, leave us a review. You'll find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.